my first tip is to stop gossiping. Hello everyone. That was like a little bit like forced. If you haven't been here before, I don't know, welcome. Hey guys, my name is Kian. If you haven't been here before, welcome to my channel. I make videos all about positivity, motivation, functioning in this world as a young adult and being the best person you can be. Snap, sounds good to me. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing a lot of tips on how to be more positive, and all of these things can be applied to today. So it's never too late to start being more positive, and honestly, it will really change your life. So I highly recommend that you keep watching this video and start applying these tips today so you can be a happier and more positive person. Man in the mirror, oh yeah, I'm asking him to change his ways, oh yeah. So my first tip is to stop gossiping. I feel like in today's society, gossiping is the norm. Society has made gossiping a norm. When I was in high school, even college, like I used to gossip all the time. I'm not gonna be the last one to admit that. I used to like tell people I liked to gossip. I loved hearing the juicy details on other people's lives. But what I have realized is that it is a very negative energy that you are putting out into the world. And I believe that what you put out is what you're gonna get back. Gossiping brings you down to like a bad vibration. When you talk bad about someone, internally, I think we all know that we don't wanna be doing it. It's just kind of addictive, and if you think about it, you're really only gossiping to fill a void within yourself, or you're basically projecting your feelings about yourself onto other people, and even strangers sometimes, or even like your best friends sometimes. This is not a positive habit to have in your life, and the sad part is I used to hang out with friends, and that is all we would have conversations about. If you have friendships in your life that you can't hold a conversation without talking badly about somebody else, I think it's time for you to reevaluate those friendships and start making changes. Cutting out gossip from my life has made me such a happier person, and it just frees up so much time to talk to your friends and even relationships about so many other things. It like forces you to get to know other people more, like get to know their soul and their thoughts, and just explore different things like that. But this was me. It was crazy to me to think that I could go a conversation without talking badly about somebody else, and that is so sad. So moving forward, I want you to really try to stop talking badly about other people. Even if you're still thinking bad things, not letting them come out of your mouth, stopping yourself from saying them is still a big step. So that is tip number one, cut out gossiping right now. I have become such a happier person since I stopped, and you will too. Tip number two is to send a blessing to everyone you see. Now, I actually got this tip from the book The Power. It's the same author as the book The Secret, or the documentary if you've seen it on Netflix. If you haven't, I highly suggest watching it. It's something really great for beginners to kind of wrap your mind around the whole like law of attraction. Positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative, good thoughts attract good thoughts. And that's actually what sparked my whole self-development journey over the past like year and a half. So I highly recommend that. But anyways, back to the tip. So this is to send everyone a blessing. And the way she explains it is, or the way I apply it, is that everywhere you go, you have these thoughts come into your head about people, and a lot of times they are negative and you want to judge them. But instead, choose a different route. Choose to send them a blessing. And now, a blessing could be giving the homeless person some money, but it could also be thinking to yourself mentally or saying out loud, you know, I really wish they have somewhere warm to sleep tonight, or I wish wealth their way. And it's just going out of a place of love instead of going towards your like habits of the bad thoughts, like, oh, that person's scum, they're homeless, they're probably a drug addict. You know, our mind makes up all these stories for us. Well, stop yourself from doing that. Instead, just wish them well, wish them wealth, wish them happiness, you know, that energy is such a great way to put out more positivity into the world. Even if they can't technically hear you say it, it's still a start. Another way I apply this is in traffic. If a person cuts me off or is speeding through traffic, so instead of getting angry at this person for what they're doing like I used to do, you know, I just say, you know, I wish them patience, or I just give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, they're rushing through traffic to get to their child who is in the hospital. How can I be mad about that? Like, go ahead, I wish you patience, or you know, whatever you're rushing off to, I hope it's something, you know, I just assume that it's something like necessary where you need to be swerving through traffic. So yes, start sending everyone a blessing, and this can be applied in so many things. If you don't like somebody, especially, those are the people you need to start sending the most blessings. If someone is super negative around you, if someone's angry, just start saying like, I wish them happiness, I wish them peace. Positivity really starts from within, not necessarily what you're saying to other people, but as long as you're positive within, that is what matters. Tip number 3 is to use affirmations. Now, think of this as having an uplifting conversation with yourself. A lot of us who are not positive will get stuck in this self-talk, this negative self-talk. And honestly, if you think about it, it's all in our head. You are telling yourself a million negative things about yourself every day. And after hearing it so many times, you really do start to believe it. So an affirmation is a way to counteract that, and I have talked about it in other videos, but let me just explain it a little bit more. An affirmation is something that you use to challenge a negative thought. You are challenging a negative thought with a positive one. So the way I apply that is I will write down any negative thoughts I have about myself, about my situation. Get them all out, write them all down on paper so you can start really visualizing the things that you've been telling yourself for years. And from there, take each statement and turn it into a positive affirmation. So let's say you have been telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're never going to graduate college, for example. You'll write all that down, and then you'll say, I am good enough. I am so smart and bright. I can achieve anything I want to. I will 100% graduate college. That sounds so much better to me. So that's just the first step. The next step is actually saying those things to yourself over and over again, whether it's in your head or out loud. I think saying them out loud is more powerful. So on my way to work, I'll say, today is gonna be an amazing day. I'm gonna have so much fun today. I'm gonna be kind to everybody I see. I'm gonna be really focused at work today. Saying these things over and over to yourself are gonna make a difference, and I know it's gonna seem really silly at first because technically you feel like you're lying to yourself because you don't believe it yet. And after you say it enough times, it's gonna feel good, and you're gonna start to believe it, and that's what's gonna impact your entire life. Trust me, this shit works. It's crazy. Do it. So tip number 4 is to look for the positives in every situation. I feel like this one's kind of obvious, but a lot of people forget to do it. When anything bad happens to you, instead of focusing on the bad, try to find something good in it. Try to find something good in it. So if I don't get the parking spot, if some jerk pulls in the parking spot I was waiting for and I find another one, you know, maybe I'll say, hey, I needed to get more steps in today. Like, that person may have had a bad day, and like that parking spot may have made their day. I don't know. You know, just trying to find the positives within the negatives. Something I've definitely done this with is relationships, breakups. I always look for the learning lesson and the positive within every situation. Another thing, I literally just spilled an entire smoothie all over my freshly dry cleaned sheets and comforter, my pillows, my wall, like my glasses, my nightstand. I will insert a clip right now. It even got on my face. But, you know, normally I would have gotten upset. Like, honestly, that was something that could have made me cry. I could have been so frustrated that I just paid money to get my sheets dry cleaned. But instead, I laughed and, you know, I threw on Fixer Upper and spent the next 45 minutes just cleaning it up and just accepting it for what it was. And you know, that taught me patience. So always try to find a positive or learning lesson in every situation. Okay, my next step is to practice gratitude. Now, there is no form of like happiness or positivity like it is from gratitude. So just start appreciating everything that you do have. Stop focusing on all the things you don't have, because focusing on that is just going to make you more miserable, more negative, and it's going to attract more like negative things to come into your life. So to practice gratefulness or gratitude, what you can do is make a grateful list every day or as often as you can, and this is just writing down some things that you are grateful for, whether it's the simple things like this couch I have, or that I have access to water in my fridge, or my parents, or my friendships. Start writing down things you are grateful for every day. And this just kind of reminds you, that your life isn't so bad. Like, you do have so many things that you can appreciate. Another way to practice gratitude is to put yourself into a situation that forces you to be grateful, whether that's volunteering with the homeless, watching a documentary to learn more about third world countries. I know when I watch that stuff, it's like a reality check. It's like, wow, last week I was upset because A, B, and C, when this person doesn't even have A, B, and C. Sorry, Sam. Okay, the next tip is to manage your consumption. Now, consumption is what we eat, what we listen to, music, movies, the conversations we participate in, basically anything that we are consuming. So how you can manage your consumption is by, Sam! Hey, I'm filming a video. I can't talk.
Oh my god, my clock is working. This is amazing. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So start listening to music that actually makes you happy. Start reading books that are about self-development and changing your mindset. Start participating in conversations that actually make you happy and aren't focused on negativity, like going back to the whole gossip thing. Be around people who are uplifting and happy. I have a rule, like, no offense, but if you are a negative person, I'm sorry, I don't have energy to sacrifice to be around you. I do not want your negative energy to affect me, so I make a very big point on like who I hang out with. I'm very particular because, I just don't have the space for negative people in my life. Same with relationships. If you are in a bad relationship and all they are giving you, or even a majority, if half of what they are giving you in the relationship is negativity and making you feel bad about yourself, you need to get out of it. Like, you are who you surround yourself with. You are the books you read. You are the movies you watch. You are the music you listen to. So start managing your consumption and start to consume things that make you happy, more positive, and a better person. Okay, my final tip is to start practicing awareness. And now this is kind of like the most complicated tip, and I'm still learning about it and practicing it. It's definitely an ongoing thing, and you can get as deep into this as you want, or you can be like surface level about it. Either way, it's good to practice awareness. Now, what I mean by this is we all have that voice inside of us that's not really us. It's like we have another person or personality within us that is, when you're trying to go to bed and you have this voice in your head like, why can't I go to bed? Like, I really need to go to sleep. I gotta wake up early in the morning. Oh, I forgot to do this, this, and this. That's not you. It's a part of us that we need to separate ourselves from. Another example is in a relationship or any situation where you start overthinking, like, he's not texting me back because he's cheating on me, or he's talking to this girl, or he's out at the bars, he's lying to me, and you just get so in your head, and then 30 minutes later he says he took a nap and he just woke up. So it's that voice. Sorry, Facebook notifications. So I'm currently reading a book called The Untethered Soul, and I'm really learning a lot more about this like ego part of us who is feeding us all these usually negative thoughts and triggering us to get upset over things that we don't even know about. So basically the whole point of this is to kind of just realize that this voice in your head is not you, and the things that it is saying don't necessarily have to be true. You don't have to stress yourself out and constantly worry about your partner. For one, you should be with someone who who makes you feel like you can trust them, but two, you know, what happens is gonna happen anyway, so you need to like practice shutting down this like other end of your brain. It's so hard to explain. I don't truly even understand it, but just being more aware of your thoughts. So yeah, you want to pretend that this voice in your head is the person next to you, and observe the thoughts or the words they are going to be saying to you. This person in your head is saying you're worthless, like, oh, you're being lazy, you're not going to the gym. If this person was physically sitting next to you and saying all these things nonstop, what would you do? You would probably walk away. I would say, like, get the hell out of here, like, there's the door. So just be aware that there is this voice in your head that you should become acquainted with, and start realizing that these thoughts in your head don't have to be true. Just because this part of your brain is thinking it does not mean it has to be true for you, and you have the power to decide and change it. It's your own. How do I even explain it? It's so hard. Just realize that these thoughts in your head are not the end all be all. You have the power to change anything and everything and turn it off. Alright guys, those are my 7 tips, I believe, on how to become more positive right now, today, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. I promise if you start applying these, they're gonna make a big difference. Even if you just focus on applying one step, the gossip, getting rid of the gossip, I promise you will see a difference in you and your friendships and the kind of conversations you are having. Please leave a comment and let me know either what your favorite tip is, how you be more positive, what you thought about the video. You could tell me, like, what color your toes are, like your grossest habit. Like, honestly, just like leave a comment. And if you are not subscribed already, you should definitely do that. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you want more like personal vlogs, just let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Everything gon' be alright. Listen on the song while you do it like that. Every time I look at your name, I'm suddenly high. I faintly feel the same. I would do almost anything. I give away this, give away that. All of my shoes, all of my hats. All I need you and a bit of music. 'Cause all I can think about